My name is Lex Horwitz, and I am a non-binary, trans-masculine Jewish human, and I use they, them pronouns. I am a special education, reading, and math teacher for grades 2 through 5 in West Philadelphia, and I was born and raised in the suburbs of Philly. I am also a student at the University of Pennsylvania Graduate School of Education, where I'm getting my master's in education. And so today we're talking about resiliency. Resiliency means that we're here, that we've experienced something that tried to take us down, that tried to defeat us, and we said, enough, and we are here. And so resiliency means that we bounce back, but not that we bounce back, but that we became a stronger person because we experienced the thing that tried to take us down. When I think of resiliency, I think of stories, I think of things that I've experienced my whole life. I think of the fact that I went to an all-girls school for 14 years, from pre-K through my senior year, and that I didn't see trans people. I barely saw queer people, and the way that I saw queer people being talked about and treated when I was at school didn't make that a valid option for me, because I didn't want to be more abused than I already was, because people could tell that I was different. And so just going to a all-girls school for 14 years and being the person I am today shows that I was strong enough to come out of that place and get a fantastic education and be able to play on the sports teams that I wanted to. I played on all women's sports teams because there was not another option. And honestly, I loved playing on the sports teams. I loved playing with my teammates. Competition was a place for me to just be me. It didn't matter your gender, your age, anything about you. What mattered is, do you have the skills? Do you have what it takes? Good, play. And so it was a space that I could just be me. When I think of resiliency, I think of past relationships, romantic relationships that I've been in. I think of the fact that I was with someone for just about 2 years, and then 2 weeks after I came out as trans, she told me that she wanted to break up with me, but wouldn't give me a reason. I think about how I didn't think I was going to survive. And I don't say that lightly. I felt as if I was a walking corpse. I was in college at the time, and I felt as if I was just going to class, doing assignments, putting food in my body, doing things, but not actually living. And that's a really scary thing to experience, because I had lost someone. I had been abandoned by someone who I thought loved me and supported me for the person that I am. And I suffered. I was suffering for quite a bit of time. But every day I woke up and I brushed my teeth and I took a shower and I went to class and I went to squash practice. I talked with my friends. I talked with my family. I kept going. I kept going when I felt like my world had shattered and that I was never going to find all the pieces of my heart again. I kept going when I thought that I had lost everything. And then now I look back on the experience and I'm still here. All of me is still here. I had to find all the pieces of my heart and put them back together. But that's not something that the fact that I was able to, from my suffering, still find myself, that I was able to keep going, and little by little, I was able to build myself back together and be who I am today. That's resiliency. I think about the relationship that I got into after that. It was with someone who was my best friend, and she had identified at the time as a straight cis woman. I do not know what she identifies now. We no longer talk. And when we were together, she had told me that all of her friends knew we were together, that she was proud of me for being the authentic person that I was. And when I I found out that this relationship was toxic for me. I felt as if I was being manipulated and mentally abused by this person. And so I said that I could no longer be in this relationship. And I found out afterwards that she had not told any of her friends that we were together because she didn't want them to know that she was with a trans person. That she had kept our relationship a complete secret and had lied to my face, saying that she loved me, that she had told people that she's proud of us and our relationship and our connection, when in reality she hadn't told anyone. And the way that it makes you feel am I such a bad or negative, or what could I be that makes me something that you want to hide? That hurts. But I know that I'm someone who's worthy of love, who's worthy of having a partner who cherishes the fact that they're authentic in every way, shape, and form. It also didn't help that in this relationship, her father was very transphobic. And so one time when I was at their house, and this likely requires a trigger warning, when I was at their house, her mom was very supportive of me, and so was her sister, but her dad started yelling at her. And her mom, we were all downstairs, her mom told me to go upstairs. And I was scared. And so I go upstairs, and I shut the door to her room, and she doesn't have a lock on her door, so I used a piece of furniture to kind of barricade the door, and I sat on the roof because I thought that I was going to have to escape. And I eventually heard the door slam, a car go out of the driveway. I heard crying downstairs. And some of the parts of the conversation that I didn't hear, but I was told and I saw through text messages between this partner of mine at the time and her father, was that he had said, "You're dating a woman. You have to say that you're gay because you're dating a woman. Lex is a woman," and was using she, her pronouns. And my partner said, "No, Lex is non-binary. They use they, them, and that's that." And then he went on to say that he was going to stop paying for her college education if she didn't accept the fact that I was a woman. And she stood up for me. She said, "No, Lex is not a woman. Lex is non-binary. They still use they, them pronouns. And nothing that you say as an outsider is going to change the fact that their gender is in their mind and only they can tell us their gender." Some other parts of the conversation that happened through text was that he was still arguing with her, saying that I was a woman. And he said, "So you're telling me that you're attracted to breasts and a hairy, smelly vagina?" This is a message that her father texted her about me. And not only is it so completely inappropriate, but it makes me feel so exposed and disgusting, because I was pre-top surgery, pre-T. I'm trying to be confident in who I was. And here's this man who's telling me that I have to be a specific gender based off my sex, which is not the way it works. And thinks that he knows who I am and what my body is based off of what he sees when he doesn't. And so this entire experience was very traumatic. It was very scary. And I have had to constantly, my entire life, since before I even knew that being trans was a thing, to coming out as trans and being confident and happy and authentic, my entire life I've had to justify who I was. I've had to fight to be the person that I am, when cis people don't have to do that. And so the fact that I am still here, that I am still smiling, that I have all the pieces back inside of me, and that I've survived manipulation and emotional abuse, and I have survived. The fact that I've went through all of these things and I am still here. Not only I'm still here, but I'm making my pedestal, I'm making my throne that I'm sitting on off of these experiences because I've conquered them. And that is what resiliency is.